Your hands and faces! Oh, yeah. Wow, what a great packed room. Love to see all of you out here tonight. We have a really great show for you this evening. If this is your first time with us, WordHack is a monthly show here at Wonderville where we hang out at ye old intersection of technology and language, one block down. And this is a place where it's a show that's been now running for 10 and a half, almost 11 years as of July. And what we try to do here is have like a kind of a, what I've called it recently is a populist intellectual space. Just a place where like a bunch of people from a bunch of different disciplines who like want to think about a thing a little bit, but like not really hard, but like medium to light hard. A place where you can consider ideas casually and then discard them with your drink at the bar. And kind of what inspired me initially to start the show, my background is in poetry, and then I started making poems you could put on a projector. And there's just like a lot of different ways people come to the idea of working with words and computers or words and technology. Some people come at it from a writing background. Some people come at it from a programming background, and we'll have like a more grounded computer science approach. People come at it from games, making dialogue systems, or generative storytelling sorts of things. There's academics who use computational tools to analyze language at scale. All kinds of people kind of like work in this way, but there's often like, I felt it was, at the time I started the show 10 and a half years ago, it was very like siloed into very specific academic conferences. And the theory is that a lot of these people have a lot of stuff in common, a lot of interests in common, and a lot to learn and share with each other. And that's why we're here, to just kind of create a space where we can see what each other are up to, hear some talks from people, and then share some pieces on the open projector, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So tonight we have a really special lineup. We're going to be hearing from Is This Thing On, creators of ThingTube, and that's a art collective consisting of Sarah Rothberg, Molly Soda, Chris Clary, and Bhavik Singh. Give it up for them. And we also have some exciting out-of-town guests in Morran and Damon Pham. Give it up for them, making the trip to come present for us at WordHack. But before we jump into our featured presentations, we have the open projector, a WordHack tradition. As I mentioned, my background is in poetry, and when I first moved to New York in 2010, it was the height of the slam poetry craze in New York City. You had to be there. Everyone was just going to the slam on Monday. Where was Monday? Monday was at Louder Arts, and at Tuesday it was at Urbana at the Bowery Poetry Club, and at Friday it was at the New Eurekan. Oh my gosh, you had to be there. Everyone is going and sharing their stuff. The hottest poets are coming in from out of town to slam in the city for the summer. Oh my goodness. And in this exciting scene arrives an unknown quantity from the suburban Midwest. How will people come to know who he is? Why, a piece of paper just like this one, where a guy like me could put his name on and make little to no impact on the poetry scene at the time, but still make one or two friends who are still friends to this day. Very important. But just having that opportunity to just put your name down, share something you made, for better or worse, like getting some reaction, getting some sense of getting how a room is reacting to your work, I think is like a really important part of my creative process and could potentially be a part of yours. It can be a little scary at first, but it's ultimately, this is a soft crowd, I'll say. Everyone in here wants the person on stage to succeed, and you can kind of know what parts in your work are hitting and what parts are not. That's a really valuable thing, and then you have a great thing to talk to people about for the rest of the night, and get some comments on, find someone who's working on something similar, who has an idea for the next step a piece could take. So for an open projector, it can be a way to celebrate a project you just finished. It can be a way to like work through something you're stuck on. You feel like you have like something cool to show, but you don't know how to finish it. Some of my favorite presentations are just like, I've got this thing, I don't know what to do with it now, but like, yeah, what should I do? Here it is. Deal with me. And or it can be just like a little 5-minute talk. Those are comparatively rare, but you don't have to just be sharing your own work. You can just like have a little performance, I was just doing a like thesis crit review thing at NYU yesterday, and I always try and tell students to like think of like any presentation you're doing in front of an audience is like a little performance with its own kind of like arena and target audience and time frame, and to think about it as such and make the most of it. So it can just be a little 5-minute performance, a little talk, a little thing, all kinds of things. You're probably ready to have me stop explaining different kinds of open projector performances, and you're ready to maybe witness one of your own. So let's please give a warm welcome to our first open projector presenter. That is Richard W. Give it up for Richard.
There's an HDMI.
Yes.
Cool.
We have dongles if you need either of these mics.
All I need is an HDMI. Is this easy? Okay, this one works?
Yep.
Perfect. And let's get this plugged in. Hey,
Out of your
folks. So my name is Richard. I'm from Chicago.
Woo.
And yeah, I'm going to read to y'all. Well, let's get this going before I start talking.
Projector's a little sleepy. It takes
Yeah, give it a second. But yeah, what I'm going to read to you is from a play by Sophocles called Antigone. It's a Greek tragedy. Let me at least make that a little bigger. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, I can work with that. So yeah, this is from Sophocles' Antigone. It's a Greek tragedy written about 2,500 years ago. It's a poem about tyranny, about really civil resistance, and it's the first work of fiction I know about those topics. I started working on this visual piece that sort of sets this 7 stanzas from the first chorus. I started working with this Anne Carson translation, Antigone, that's amazing. But then I found this 19th century translation by Richard Jebb, and the language feels really intense and it hits really hard. So I'm just gonna stop talking and start reading it, because yeah, that's about as much time as I've got. But yeah, so this is Antigone. Shaft of the sun, fairest light of all that have dawned on Thebes of the 7 gates, you have shone forth at last, eye of golden day, advancing over Dirce's streams. You have goaded with a sharper bit the warrior of the white shield, who came from Argos in full armor, driving him to headlong retreat. He set out against our lands because of the strife-filled claims of Polynices, and like a screaming eagle, he flew over into our land, covered by his snow-white wing, with a mass of weapons and crested helmets. He paused above our dwellings. He gaped around our sevenfold portals with spears thirsting for blood, but he left before his jaws were ever glutted with our gore, or before the fire god's pine-fed flame had seized our crown of towers. So fierce was the crash of battle swelling about his back, a match too hard to win for the rival of the dragon. For Zeus detests, above all, the boasts of a proud tongue. And when he saw them advancing in a swollen flood, arrogant their clanging gold, he dashed with brandished fire, one who was already starting to shout victory when he had reached our ramparts. Staggered, he fell to the earth with a crash, torch in hand, a man possessed by the frenzy of the mad attack, who just now was raging against us with the blasts of his tempestuous hate. But his threats did not fare as he had hoped, and to the other enemies, mighty Ares dispensed each their own dooms with hard blows. Ares, our mighty ally at the turning point. For the 7 captains, stationed against an equal number at the 7 gates, left behind their brazen arms in tribute to Zeus, the turner of battle. All but the accursed pair who, born of one father and one mother, set against each other their spears, both victorious, and who now share a common death. But since victory, whose name is glory, has come to us, smiling in joy, equal to the joy of chariot-rich Thebes, let us make for ourselves forgetfulness after the recent wars, and visit all the temples of the gods with night-long dance and song. And may Bacchus, who shakes the earth of Thebes, rule our dancing. And that's the poem. Thanks all. This is amazing.
Too many microphones. Give it up one more time for Richard. Coming up next, we have a returning WordHack favorite. Give it up for Jamie Brew.
Turn my computer sound up. Okay. Okay, we've just heard some praise of forgetfulness. We're going to go in a different direction here. I've heard poetry described as a kind of mnemonic device, at least Greek poetry, like the fact that it rhymed and hung together was a way of remembering the stories better. Well, in our modern age, we have a more powerful cultural tradition that we are underusing for its mnemonic potential, and that is karaoke. We all know these songs, we know how they go, and we need to be using them to memorize various things. So behind me is a PDF converted version of the homepage of Craigslist New York, and we are going to use, let me just get some files set up here. Let's get some JSON. Craigslist New York. Let's get some cues. Blink 182, Craigslist New York. Let's get some audio. Blink 182, All the Small Things. We're going to use Blink 182's All the Small Things to help us memorize out-of-order fragments from Craigslist. Let's go. Sing along if you know it. It'll help you remember. Autos, housing, childcare, fix it, for sale, what's new, for sale, haiku, Scranton, South Coast, avoid scams and fraud, housing, gaming, general labor, aviation, farm and garden, wheels and tires, baby and 2025 Craigslist, copyright 2025 Craigslist, copyright 2025 Craigslist, copyright 2025 Craigslist. So it'll be that in the second chorus too. Bike parts, boat parts, celebs, cosmos, TV/film/video, art/media/design, aviation, farm and garden, wheels and tires, baby and copyright 2025 Craigslist, copyright 2025 Craigslist, copyright 2025 Craigslist, copyright 2025 Craigslist. This part is the same. Aviation, farm and garden, wheels and tires, baby and kid, motorcycles, best of Craigslist, vacation rentals, customer service, aviation, farm and garden, wheels and tires, baby and kid, motorcycles, best of Craigslist, vacation rentals, human resources, customer service. All right, thank you.
You do love to see it. Give it up for Jamie Brew. It's rare for someone to show the same project at WordHack over 10 times and still have something new and exciting each time. Really impressive to see this project develop since it was first shared here. That was so much fun, Jamie. I love that interface. Up next, another returning WordHack fave. Give it up for you, Pham.
What's up? Any Mandarin speaker here? Okay, sadly this is gonna be really confusing for most of you. So this is part project sharing, part recruiting cheap Mandarin speaking labor for my project if you want to be part of it. Can I have audio? Audio doesn't really matter, but you're gonna see. Okay. Anybody know what the pudding is? It's data visualization web magazine thing. Check them out. And they had I think 2018, 2017 project to visualize all the Office dialogue data from the sitcom. Oh, not sitcom, just comedy. And you can see how many lines each character said, how many line amount of seasons. Michael dropped out in the later seasons, as you can see. And the sentiment of lines, Angela was really negative and she got married later and got better. And this is that's what she said. Great visualization for everyone's favorite comedy. And what's the equivalent of the favorite comedy in China? Everybody watched 武林外传, My Own Swordsman. I think every Chinese person that's like have been alive around the 2006-ish has seen it. I think this is the wrong Wikipedia. This is pointing to a really bad sequel film that's after the TV show. But let's find it better. So the comedy came out 2006, and in order to do a similar visualization like The Office, it's been a pain in the ass because unlike in the US where people sell their screenwriting as like a separate dedicated publications, it's not a thing in China at all. So in order to get the script, I was trying to find the subtitles from all the episodes. Like CCTV, the China Central Television has a YouTube account, and they upload every single episode of 武林外传 over there. And the problem is, it has English subtitles. If you know the subtitle format, SRT, it has SRT English titles, but not the Chinese. Why? Because the Chinese subtitle is burned in to the video, and nobody needs to make a freaking subtitle file, and that's what I'm making for the past 2 months or so. From OCR results, I basically chop every episode into, I think, 90,000 frames, and then OCR every frame, and that's one part of it. But a problem with subtitle is different from script. You don't know who's talking, and that's a big problem. So I found out. So a Chinese similar community to Reddit. There's like this Baidu Tieba thing. Like people just like and Tieba is like every topic has its subreddit thing, and people on the comedy subreddit had a crowdsourced version of the script from 2007, and I had the PDF downloaded. It's like edited from I have a code base for the fucking everything, and this is the original PDF. You are looking at some fine early 2000 PDF designs, Chinese typography stuff. And so I converted this PDF to a TXT. That's pretty straightforward. And then how do I match up so here's the thing. This version of PDF is crowdsourced. There's a lot of errors in there. And I'm treating the subtitle as a source of truth because although it's pretty bad. Like I've gotten to the point that I realize there's error in the subtitles from auditing everything. So from the TXT, my first script segmented TXT into episodes, and then the second script separates episodes into scenes, and then every scene I have a huge LLM prompt to help me sort everything into a JSON. And I have the JSON schema defined somewhere, and I have it check against the LLM results. And then sometimes it mess up the format, so I hand correct them. And 80 episodes of the script is actually done. That's like months of work. The hard part that is not done, so I don't have any results for this project yet, so this is the recruiting part. So if you speak Mandarin and you read Chinese characters, which is two different things, from the OCR results to an SRT file is actually pretty tricky because video compression artifact is real, and when the subtitle appears and disappears, that half frame sometimes lingers, and it's like really prone to error. Like that half frame is messing everything up. And also, if you know a little bit of Chinese, the Chinese character for one is a horizontal line. And OCR is really bad at distinguishing one from a dash and two from an equal sign. So like every number is kind of tricky. And this is what I've been doing. I have a website that helps me, where is it? Basically go through every episode in silence. Is it? Yeah. I'm auditing these. Okay, this is the wrong episode. Sorry. You get the idea. I push up or down and it skipped to that frame, and I'm checking if this thing match up with the bottom thing. And if it doesn't, I will type and fix that, and I'll save it. So I've done 15 episodes out of 80 on this. And there's some sophisticated algorithm that actually match up this SRT with the JSON script file that I'm developing. It's not 100% perfect, but it's going. So if you're interested in making whatever this, like if you're Chinese, I guess you would only care if you're Chinese. But and if you're interested in doing a similar project, like I can tell you how to OCR subtitles from a show that you don't have access to subtitle. Yeah, who are making these subtitles? This is crazy. They literally has English. Oh, they have English. But on other websites, there's Spanish for the show. There's like Arabic for the show, but not Chinese. So this is it. I don't know how to end it. But and if you're interested in like parsing, like not trusting the LLM to do part of your job, but like not trusting 100% to check against like a data schema, like you can ask me about it if you have similar projects. But yeah.
Have you, audience member, ever spent a ridiculous amount of time and effort on a project of dubious direction and intent? You too could show your project here, recruit a little help, and at the very least, have shown it somewhere. I'm really excited to see where this goes, Yufeng, and come recruit anytime. Love to see it. An inspiring dedication to the craft. Up next, please welcome a new challenger on the open projector. Let's give it up for Zelda.
Thanks.
Hey, let's go.
So to do this, okay.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
give sound.
No sound necessary. Okay. Hi everyone. I'll just start by introducing myself. This is me. I'm Zelda. I'm a labor organizer with No Tech for Apartheid. Thank you. I'm also a digital humanities student at CUNY Graduate Center, and I'm an ex-Google software engineer. 1 year ago today, in like maybe an hour, I got fired because I did a sit-in at Google because they make tech for genocide and it's really, really bad. So you should check out No Tech for Apartheid for information about like labor organizing in tech and fighting against big corporate evil powers that be. But this is more about like stuff I do for school. So I'm going to be sharing a project that I made called The World of Wonder. So I made this zine for my friends because I love making things. And it was handwritten, and I really enjoyed making it. And so I scanned it, and then I made a bunch of copies and gave it to my friends and mailed it out to my friends all throughout the country. And it was a lot of fun. And then I was thinking, I can't really express everything that went into making this zine by just like handing it to people. I could maybe get on a call with them, but it would just be like the same conversation over and over again. And so I built this little website that kind of just like annotates my zine based off the scans that I made of it, and talks about like the inspiration behind it, what was going on through my mind. I'm kind of thinking about making regular zines as a way to replace like my social media presence. If I just like make zines with the things that I've been writing about in my journal to share with my friends, I could make a space for myself on the internet that feels a lot more authentic than posting on Instagram.com. So I just wanted to share this little slice of the internet that I made around my zine, and there's just like every page from the zine. I also read it out loud, which I will not be playing because I can't stand my own voice. But for my friends who know my voice, you can feel free to listen to me read this zine out loud. I talk about some of the books that I've been reading, including like Pedagogy of the Oppressed, Hijab Butch Blues, Northwoods, Displacement. I talk about some of the references. A zine is a really limited amount of space. There's not enough words here, and I was thinking about web as a medium that can expand the words that I could have on a zine. For example, one of my favorite references here is "Spring is upon us y el cuerpo lo sabe." If you speak Spanish, you've probably heard like "Es viernes y el cuerpo lo sabe," which means it's Friday and the body knows it. I love that, and I found out that it was actually like a YouTube video posted by an Argentinian ex-president that nobody likes, by the way. So I was like, interesting. I like learned where that meme came from, and then I was also able to like link that meme for my friends who like don't speak Spanish, and even the ones who know it but don't know where that meme comes from. I did a tarot reading for this zine, and I was thinking about how I can only get this like abstraction of the tarot reading because I can't physically give you the actual tarot cards. But the cool thing about this website is that I could just show you all of the exact like tarot cards that were included for it, because they're very beautiful decks, and I don't think that a beautiful deck of cards that I don't think I can express with just like my abstraction of it. But one of my favorite parts about this was being able to share the actual writing that I had like in my journal before it became the zine. There are many iterations of the writing before it became the zine and then before it became the website. And I wanted to sort of think about this site as a way to peel back the curtain on the zine and give my friends a little world to like jump into. So this actually doesn't work on mobile, and that's intentional. It's really hard to make this into this sort of format. And my lovely friend Alia, who's in the crowd, made me feel a lot better about not making it mobile friendly, because you know what? Sometimes you need to sit with things this way and not that way. And that was, very revolutionary. So thank you, Alia, for like reminding me of that. And I also have some of the scribbles that I made when I was like, you see the polished version of the zine, but there was like all of this thought and writing, and I wanted everyone to see how visceral my thoughts were before they became a polished version. And also this like to-do list that I didn't go back to, but was still helpful nonetheless because it helped organize my brain about all the things I had to do. I made 50 copies of this to send out to my friends, and I was sort of struggling to make the final product actually happen. And yeah, I made a little stamp too, which I think a lino cut. I did not have the things necessary to make it, so I used an X-Acto knife, and it turned out okay. But now I'm actually really interested in doing more lino cut stamps. And yeah, I just want to encourage everyone to have fun with the internet and think about how you can tell your stories on it without it being under the proprietary technology of really evil people who are collecting all of our stuff for evil reasons. So that's me, and yeah, thank you so much.
Let's keep it going for Zelda. Thank you for sharing that project. One of my coworkers at the School for Poetic Computation, Neda Bomani, makes a lot of zines, and I make a lot of websites with just like raw HTML and CSS. And we talk about a lot how they're like kind of the same thing. Just like it's like you can fit a similar amount of content into a zine versus just like a raw HTML website. And sometimes like people on either side be like, oh, I'm just a website person, or I'm just a zine person. But they have like a lot in common in terms of like just going just like direct to people and not going through a big corporate middleman. And if you're on one or the other of that spectrum, if you make websites, maybe think about making a zine sometime. And if you make zines, thinking about making a little website, they got a lot in common, and it's fun to see just like a little website about a topic with some nice design. And thanks for sticking up for landscape design, Zelda. And I like to make things that are landscape only too. Now's the time where I get to announce an exciting new feature on the Open Projector list, which is this wait list at the bottom, name pending. But sometimes, maybe you've been there, you're thinking like, maybe I'll do Open Projector. I won't know until the moment if I want to or not. And maybe you can, and maybe the whole list is full. Maybe you're feeling like, I only want to go, what I got, I only want to go if the people who really want it say no, but if there's space, I'll go. The wait list is here for you. That's a feature. You can put your name down, not taking up space. You can decide if there's room, maybe I'll share something. And now is the part where I can say like, Ashman, you want to come up here? Yeah. Yes.
I did not bring all my stuff, but so ever since I've been, I don't know. Oh, sorry. So yeah, I think for a long time I've kind of liked to learn a little bit about a lot of things. I think like a lot of you guys, I think you also mentioned something like that earlier. And in the spirit of that, I find like Wikipedia to be a really nice tool. And lately, with the advent of like LLMs, when I have a question, I go to like the GPT and it just gives me the answer without the distractions, and it kind of sucks. I prefer like combing through, I don't know, like 5,000 words to get to like when Spain actually showed up in South America or whatever. And I think like to me, in the spirit of that, I just kind of started like making all sorts of like small code sketches, and this is one of them. I'll need you guys to give me like a term.
We're not on the projector yet.
Oh, sorry. So this project basically just kind of like, yeah. You just scroll through Wikipedia articles. It's gonna kind of like crawl it. So does anyone have like a term or something that comes to mind?
Can't see it yet.
Oh, sorry. It's just me. Oh, wow. And I like how it's like,
Yeah. It's rare to have a diagonal.
yeah. We'll just wait. No. No luck yet.
Hey.
All right. So this is the website. It's called WikiWalk. I didn't even come up with the name, but yeah, just give me like a term, and then we can just kind of like watch it. Zelda. Amazing. It's actually a good one. By the way, these have to be like. Oh, by the way, we could also do like the Zelda Fitzgerald. No, let's do the regular Zelda. Oh, sorry guys. That's called a bug. Sorry, we're gonna have to do Zelda Fitzgerald. So it's just gonna kind of like crawl the first link each time, and just kind of like essentially like keep going. Now we're learning all about capitals. Incidentally, it pretty much always ends at physics, philosophy, or Greece, which is proof that they are like either the Western world is like deeply embedded in the corpus of the internet, or they are truly the ultimate things in life. Physics, philosophy, and Greece. I don't know. And so I think, yeah, we just kind of keep watching it. This is going to go for like 10 hops, as I call them. So we could either add 10 more and learn about common law, or we can try something new. Any ideas? All right, love it. Law. Oh yeah, by the way, it's just gonna like sometimes go into like a recursive loop, which is its own kind of fun. This is getting a bit hectic. Sorry, Google person, ex Google person. Uh, yeah. Whoa, that's a new one. Sometimes we learn stuff. Like, what is that? I don't know. Turns out you didn't learn anything. There is hope in the world. There you go. And now we're gonna get into, ooh, okay, right before the fun part. Well, you know what? Okay, so by the way, let me show you my settings. So you can increase or decrease the hops. Also, you can change the depth. So right now, it just kind of like crawls the first section. So Wikipedia's API has like different sections. And obviously the first is like the intro, but the second is pretty much like the second paragraph. So we could do that. The failure rate is often higher, but it goes wild much faster. Any suggestions? All right, one more depth level, whatever that means. And one more search term, if anyone has one. Luigi. Love it. Ooh. Nicholas. See, you learned something new. I'm sorry, now we're in this. Oh, Baltimore. Okay. Beautiful city. Slept on. Kent. Oh, by the way, I had to do a lot of like string parsing to remove the brackets, because as you know, like when the first sentence of any article, oh, sorry, this happens sometimes, it like culls it, because it reads the period as like the end of the sentence, but it's not. Yeah, exactly. And I can't be bothered to like, this is a code sketch, just to be clear. Like, I don't want to make it better, I almost wanted to like mess up. One more, let's just do 10 more. Area. By the way, geolink. Oh, by the way, yeah. So sometimes it does these like redirects, because you know when you search something super ambiguous, I believe the disambiguation kicks in, and so this was harder because of the second level of depth. So let's maybe like go back to 1 and make it faster, because maybe I'm running out of time. And let's do one more, maybe Mothman. Less. Sorry.
Mothman.
I do not know how to spell that.
Mothman.
Oh, Mothman. Got it. Awesome. I know that guy. Film or comics, or the ambiguous term that may fail. Ooh, nice. Wow, we really keep going to these random parts of America. This is the other thing I realized, like, Wikipedia is extremely American. Oh, my favorite, landmass. The other thing that happens is it zooms out and then starts zooming back in. So I wanted you all to see the like zoom back in, but it's not happening. Oh, rounded, okay. Physics. It's always physics. Science. Let's just give it another like 5 hops, and then it'll become specific again. Now we're going. 10 more. Just bear with me. Turns out Mothman does not zoom back in. It just stays abstract. I don't know how much time I have, but we could do like, I don't know, something about Bushwick maybe, because, oh. Okay, so then let's just do Bushwick, Brooklyn, and just see what happens. Neighborhood. Oh, did we already do neighborhoods? Nice. But yeah, this is what I made. It was very easy to make with like AI stuff. So yeah, I have a simple rule, like I never let the AI make the art, just the tool to make the art. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
Give it up one more time for Ashman and everyone on our open projector. Highlighting the new waitlist feature. Decide in the moment if you're ready to come up for open projector. Exciting, thrilling. I have a new piece that I had published that I want to share with you real quick. Does anyone here play video games? I've had this thing where I have been kind of, for the past like 2 or 3 years, I've been writing kind of like voicey stream of consciousness reviews of every video game I've played. And I finally got one published in Das Videospiel. What is Das Videospiel, you ask? It is the new video game vertical on the Evergreen Review, where I've had a digital poem published before. But I want to read to you a little bit from this piece I wrote about the anxiety of grinding in video games. And this will have some light spoilers for a game called Metaphor Refantasio, which is made by Atlas, creators of the Persona series. Some of you may not care, and that is fine, but I think there's some fun language and content in here nonetheless. So I want to read to you a little bit from this. I've just finished Metaphor Refantasio, a Persona game set in a fantasy kingdom with an experimental magic-fueled democracy. Playing a Persona game is like exploring a mysterious house owned by an eccentric. It's full of exciting style choices and funky doodads, and then at some point you find a hidden door behind a bookcase. What could it be? Then you proceed to walk down an undecorated hallway for half a mile before arriving in a kinda cool but ultimately disappointing secret office/study. Then you reflect later on the experience, and sure, the house was great, but how long was I in that hallway? I played Metaphor Refantasio for 97 hours, and I'd say I spent a solid 40 hours in the hallway. The first couple hours of hallway can be kind of sweet. It could go anywhere, but as the destination is increasingly revealed to be more hallway, it asymptotically approaches the feeling of being in prison. The hallway is where a game has demonstrated its iterative loop, but where no meaningful iterations remain, and so you can safely continue onward without thinking any original thoughts. It's not uncommon for games to have a hallway somewhere around the 60 to 80% mark, but it is a special hallmark of the Persona games to have a big twist or fake ending and then follow this twist with miles of more hallway. Which leads us to the question, what is grinding? Grinding is the practice of repeatedly accomplishing a relatively simple task, usually killing monsters, that is not required to progress the game. Instead, grinding is done for the purpose of gradually increasing your character's power within a game. Grinding is a characteristic of the JRPG genre stretching back to the 80s, a crude machine for turning memory-saving, procedurally generated content into extended playtime. Some people claim to enjoy grinding, and it is currently inappropriate to chastise them for it. Grinding is choosing to spend time in the hallway. Metaphor Refantasio is a time management sim. Every afternoon that you spend grinding in a dungeon is an afternoon that you are not spending getting closer to one of your many companions or talking to a social outcast to increase your kingly tolerance. Every weird cave or forest full of respawning birds becomes a hyperbolic time chamber where you can become stronger indefinitely. Once you have chosen to grind for the afternoon, you can spend as much time grinding as you want without in-game time passing. Grinding is therefore an exchange of unlimited out-of-game time for limited in-game time. Grinding represents the anxiety inherent in the game's fragile power fantasy, protecting you from the fear of feeling weak in an imaginary world. In Metaphor Refantasio, this anxiety manifests concretely as uncontrollable magic that turns people into monsters. The protagonists of the game are people who confront and overcome their anxieties, and in so doing transform into powerful heroes. Metaphor Refantasio is a game about anxiety and its consequences at the personal and societal level. It is bad, ludonarratively dissonant, that the famous anxiety-overcoming heroes spend any of your precious time grinding. I enjoy Dark Souls games, and I've been trying to put my finger on why grinding in Dark Souls games feels different than in conventional JRPGs. In Dark Souls, it's not uncommon to get to a new boss, get your ass kicked so incredibly hard 10 times in a row, and then conclude that you just need to get a little stronger before you mess with this dude. So you fight some skeletons, you upgrade your weapon, you come back, and you eventually pull it off. In Metaphor, you are often faced with some sort of big challenge that you need to accomplish within a certain number of days, as well as some side quests that can be done during that time as well. Because in-game time is scarce, one of the worst things that can happen is wasting a day. One example of wasting a day is getting to the big challenge and then discovering you aren't strong enough. One time I took a bath for an in-game evening and forgot to put stat-improving bath salts in, thus wasting the entire evening. It was humiliating. To avoid wasting in-game time, you are incentivized to complete the side quests and optional areas and kill as many respawning birds as possible before fighting the next boss. The last in-game month is an all-you-can-grind fest, which encourages you to get as strong as you can before the final battle. The grinding is preemptive. It might not even be necessary. What are we doing here? Hours 5 to 50 were incredibly fun and addictive. The archetype job system has a lot of crunchy depth, Kira's natural home. The world is fun to be in, great art, interesting people. The concept of a people who've only ever known monarchy suddenly having democracy thrust upon them is genuinely compelling. It's only in the hallway where things turn sour. Is it completely beyond Atlas to build a game without one? Time feels scarce the whole game, until suddenly you have plenty of time. You can be close, intimate ride or dies with every single character that you meet. You can kill every dragon and become a god and still have 5 days of bathing just to pass the time. There is no more brutal way to undercut the meaning of a time management sim than to give you enough time to do everything. You thought you were making hard choices, but instead you were just picking which jelly bean to eat first. The dead king in Metaphor Fantasio uses magic to create infallible magic democracy. Meanwhile, everyone's wondering, what makes a good king? Courage, wisdom, eloquence, sure. But what about grinding? Who holds out hope for a king who grinds? What are the politics of grinding? Grinding is a fantasy by which the change you desire can be achieved by continuing to do what you are already doing in small, comfortable increments. Grinding is the copium of liberal democracy. Enough small instances of inoffensive protest and general decorum will gradually push society to max level. Is Metaphor Fantasio an allegory, winky face, for the Obama administration? Some mildly progressive status quoing aestheticized as radical change? Anxiety is believing defeating an enemy is the only way to make things right, says Barden, one of my favorite characters, a general turned hapless local politician. He's talking about all the weak-willed citizens who are supporting the charismatic social Darwinist Lewis, who is the antagonist of the game. Barden is criticizing the citizens who are longing for a king who is strong enough to beat up everyone who would make them sad. But isn't the game also telling us that defeating Lewis is really the only way to make things right? This is not a game about building affordable housing while maintaining a crime rate low enough to avoid getting primaried. This is a game about becoming an unstoppable killing machine and winning an election by knockout. I think I had a lot of interesting thoughts while I was playing this game. Most of them were replaced by grinding and the shame I felt because of it. This is a game that shows you that no matter how courageous and revolutionary your character may be, you, gamer, are a coward, and you are not the same. This tension, this dissonance, wasn't entirely bad. It meant something, but I've sure played better games for less long. That's my article. Thanks, everybody. Always exciting to be able to share something with the WordHack audience. Y'all are great. And that means we have made it to our first featured presenter. Really excited to welcome Morran to the stage here at WordHack. Mer is a writer and a video producer, and I'm excited to say one of my first students when I first started teaching a long time ago. It's been really exciting to see how their artistic practice has developed, and I'm really excited to see what they have for you this evening. Give it up for Mer.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's a special day because Todd was, in fact, my instructor, I think in 2017. So it's been a minute, and I'm happy to be here. I want to make sure that all of the text is legible. So let's just check that. Should I be using that one?
Tends to work better on Mac.
Okay.
Oh, you got though. Oh no. Oh dear.
In and out. I'll try that one. So I don't really play video games, but the grinding essay was interesting to me, and it did make me think about this one video game I played when I was a child, where my brother and I repeatedly ran into this fence until we got our character outside of the game, and we were shocked, like we had never done that before. I don't think it's supposed to happen, and we stayed out there for like, I don't know, maybe an hour. It was strange. Okay. No. And like my computer's the cursed computer, of course. Okay. Cool. So, this title is for a project called Voltaris. So about 8 months ago, I decided that I wanted to make an experimental documentary about self-driving cars. And I was inspired by the question, can self-driving cars detect ghosts? So I began to research autonomous driving, especially as it relates to surveillance. And to explore this, I devised a hypothetical Tesla-adjacent company. I asked ChatGPT for name suggestions, given the scenario that Tesla had been forced to rebrand for legal reasons, and it came up with the name Voltaris. Now, for a better understanding of where Tesla, or should we say Voltaris, exists on the spectrum of self-driving vehicles, I've included a diagram on the next slide. And here we have the 6 levels of self-driving. Now, Tesla/Voltaris, it looks confusing because it's the 3rd circle, but it starts with level 0. So level 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tesla cars, they need still like a human inside them. Probably y'all know this, but like Waymo, for example, which is, you know, a Google car, it doesn't need a human inside of it to operate. And the hypothetical scenario is that at some point for this level 5, we can say, the cars won't even need like steering wheels or gas and brake pedals. So they'll actually not be like drivable by humans. Okay, so then I knew I wanted to create like visual elements that mimicked the Tesla dashboard interface. So for anyone unfamiliar, we can see this. There's this screen down here where there's like GPS. It looks like a huge iPad. And it not only shows cars on the street, but also humans walking alongside the cars on the sidewalk. And so with this in mind, I decided to create this little guy. And then I began to research, you know, how the car's vision works. So Tesla is one car that's transitioning away from using like radar and ultrasonic vision into something they're calling camera-only sight, meaning it relies only on cameras to see. That means like it can't necessarily see 2 cars in front of you or something that would involve, you know, looking between vehicles or through vehicles. It's only what like the human eye could see in a sense. Now, I'm going to play a video here in a second, and to explore this, I decided, this is using AI, to use this software, HeyGen, and it can generate these video avatars with a script of your choosing. And I, you know, was engaging in this practice of like, what does it mean to write for the avatar, and like adjust their speech patterns. I kind of wanted it to seem uncanny and like potentially a little bit real. And so I came up with these 2 characters, Sasha, who's the Voltaris CIO, and then Jeff, who is a Voltaris customer. And when we view the film here in a second, you'll get a chance to hear from each of their stories. Sasha is asked to speak on behalf of Voltaris, and she is supposed to assure potential customers that the automation process is fully safe. And then Jeff shares a story about a complex experience he had when he was dancing next to his Voltaris vehicle. In addition to this, you know, the film kind of brings up these questions of like the classic trolley problem. You know, it's usually cited as an example of who do you save if the car might hit a group of people, or it could swerve and just hit one person, or potentially put even like the passenger/driver of the car at risk. So the diagram. And then the final thing I wanted to explore was this question of hallucinations. which relates to my curiosity about whether or not Teslas can see ghosts. As with, like AI-assisted search engines, the AI overviews, anytime they get something wrong, right, it's called a hallucination. So then I was thinking, what does a hallucination look like in the context of self-driving vehicles? It sounds kind of scary. So now we can play a film. And I'm going to just check my audio really quickly. Okay, we'll do this. All right. It just starts with music, so if anything's too low.
Don't send it through HDMI.
Don't send it through HDMI?
Yeah, you're going to need this cable.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So yeah, just external headphones, perfect. Okay. It should have audio. So it doesn't. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. I'll boost this output volume and see if that works. Okay. Can y'all boost it in the booth or no? Can you boost it in the booth or no?
Is it all the way up?
All right. Max it out.
Yes, okay. So my name is Sasha McIntyre, that's SASHAMCINTYRE, and I work as the Chief Information Officer here at Voltaris. I'm thinking, what it sounds like you want to talk about is, the new direction. That's away from LiDAR and towards what we've been terming camera-only sight. The idea behind this is that we want to mimic the seeing eye, the human eye. You've no doubt heard how this deviates from the norms in our industry, namely the use of radar and ultrasonic methods for vehicle detection. To combat these concerns, our engineers have added 6 additional cameras to the body of the vehicle. Now, you might be wondering what makes this approach better than our competitors. When you only have one input channel, by that I mean the camera, the deep learning algorithms we have developed only have to rely on this one channel. Of course, there are limitations to the sight of the camera, but if you think about the human eye as one camera, by this I mean each human has one camera on their head, and that is their eyes. Because they work in unison, then just think about a vehicle equipped with a total of 8 cameras for 360-degree vision. Any limitations that might concern our consumers are hopefully mitigated by this fact alone. It would be like having 8 human heads observing the driving process at all times. Does that answer your question?
There's a classic example people use when speaking about the ethical dilemmas that emerge with self-driving cars. If the car is on track to hit a group of people, should it swerve, even if that means putting someone else at risk? Even if that means potentially harming the passengers in that very car? Should the passengers in each car be the top priority for the car that drives them?
I was outside with my niece and nephew, and I was showing them the car. Of course, they were really excited to see it. I explained how the car could drive without having a person even inside of it. At first, they didn't believe me, which makes sense. But then I decided to take them to a parking lot at the grocery store near my brother's place, because I also told them how the car could come find me. They were getting super interested, saying things like, "No way," and "I don't believe you," and "You're lying to us." And I kept telling them that I was telling the truth. When I parked the car in the spot, they were both practically jumping up and down. Then the three of us went over to the front of the store. I gave my niece the key and told her to press the button and call the car. When they started to see it drive over, they were both like, "OMG," and "Whoa," and "This car has Riz," and "We have to tell David and Tiff and Sal," who are their friends. After that, they wanted to see what else it could do, so I reparked it. This time, when they called the car back to us, I jumped in front of it and started dancing. Of course, it stopped like I knew it would. They loved it. I saw how they were both laughing so hard, partially at my dancing and partially because they couldn't believe what they were seeing. But then it happened. I was dancing and dancing, and the kids were getting too excited, and then my niece and nephew pressed the button 2 or 3 more times, and next thing I knew, the car was accelerating right at me. If I had jumped out of the way immediately, I might have been able to avoid getting hit, but I thought it would stop again, so I didn't stop dancing for a few seconds, which was obviously a really horrible mistake because the car didn't stop, and instead it hit me head on and I fell to the ground. Then it ran over my left arm, and then my niece and nephew started to scream like, "Get out of there," and "Stop it, Uncle Jeff," and then a crowd gathered all around us.
Do I believe in ghosts? Well, let me see here. I haven't seen one myself, nor do I particularly want to see one. But one of our Voltaris engineers did tell me about something once. It was around the time of the switch, when they were training the new cars. He was updating the algorithm to ensure top accuracy with human detection. The way it works is that our engineers, after they have updated the cars, are paired with a driver who goes out in the car with them, testing the cars in what we like to call a safe zone. That is where the cars have to respond to non-human obstacles. We have every car work in the safe zone before they are taken out onto the road, to minimize accidents, of course. So, Dave, let's call him, was out in the car with one of the drivers, in the safe zone, and the car continued to see a person when one wasn't there. Time and time again, this kept happening. The car continued to swerve when nothing was in the way. At first, Dave and the driver were very frustrated. But then, well, they started to consider what the car might think it was seeing instead. First, they ran some tests on birds, next on dust, to see if anything was getting in front of the camera to disrupt its sight. When no such thing was happening, well, I wouldn't say I'm a very superstitious person. Some of my friends, they have stories, all kinds of ghost stories, family stories, things like that. But I just listen to those stories and think, how can this be true? But with Dave's story, well, there was some other kind of reality to it. Something about the car that confirmed that reality. And so it's something I think I'm more inclined to believe. Do I think ghosts have biases? I don't know. I think maybe a ghost could hold a grudge. If something happened to the person when they were still human, and now their ghost remembers it, what happened with Dave's car that kept seeing the person who wasn't there? The system was formatted, reset, and Dave had to completely reprogram that car. It was actually quite a lot of work for him. That's all. Okay, well, thank you for choosing to interview Voltaris. We appreciate all of our customers and enthusiasts' support. It means the world to us. Cheers to Voltaris, and cheers to the future of self-driving cars.
Thanks for watching.
Let's give it up one more time for Mur. And we have arrived at the famous WordHack mid-show break. We're going to take a break that is 13 minutes long. And after this 13 minutes, we are going to reassemble right back here, where we're going to hear from Is This Thing On? Sarah Rothberg, Molly Soda, Bhavik Singh, and Chris Clary. And then Damon Pham to close us out. Don't go far. And also, I'll take this moment to shout out our staff, Chantal at the door, Rhodey in the booth, and Jason at the bar. Please tip generously. I always hear good things about what great tippers WordHack audience are, and I would love to keep that reputation. All right, see you later.
And we were kind of frustrated with like each of them, like YouTube, or Chris streams on Chatterbait. Molly was doing a bunch of different streaming, like with YouTube. And we were like, what if we could just build our own live stream platform to do whatever we want with? So we started making this thing, Is This Thing On? And at the time, it was, what year was it? Like,
Crypto era.
it was like 2021 or something. Everyone was like decentralization. So we toyed with this idea that we were like a web 3 without web 3. And we spent a lot of time talking about like what is decentralization, and we came to absolutely no conclusion. But I'm bringing this up now because I do think the thing that has persisted is that we are very non-hierarchical, which means that we haven't coordinated anything about this presentation. So brace yourself for that. So this is what it looks like. Basically, it is a it sort of uses like the old school web ring concept. So everyone who's streaming at the same time has like a little box in a ring, and you can jump from stream to stream. And the idea was kind of like putting different streamers together in conversation by putting them in this ring that you can hop between. Do you guys want to say anything about that? I don't know.
No, that's good.
Okay.
Do you want to?
Molly literally said you were happy to sit here and smile.
Yeah, you could show how you can maybe demo it. It might be too complicated.
No, bottom left.
So
there's an arrow. She's clicking the arrow.
So this is like back in the museum stream. There's like you'll see at the end of this presentation. And then this is like the home page. This is Chrissy's page. Chris, can you say hi? I don't know if we'll be able to hear you.
I think. Hi, Chris. Wait.
I'm live.
Hi.
How can he hear us?
I don't know.
I can hear you.
Oh, he's on Twitch, I think.
Oh, okay. Wait, if only we could get the Twitch stream on thing right now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna come back to you, Chris.
We'll be back
in a moment.
And we'll do these hanging shelves. I think that could be really nice above the bed. Let me just.
This was on
really
Amazon's
keep
live
that.
streaming
Great.
platform. This is season 0 before we started thing.
Yeah, because we also have these archives.
It's like really convoluted. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to the next stream. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, this is my stream. Someone has recently said nice butt, which is cool. And then someone else wished someone a happy birthday. We'll talk about that maybe in a little bit, but basically our chat is often taken over by high schoolers somewhere, and they're having like some kind of ongoing conversation with each other about like school. It's sick. It's the best part of our site. Okay, so back to our presentation. Maybe we should go to the next slide. Yeah, so there's this thing ring, and that's like where, streamers show up. And then there's the chat, which is like always on. Like you can always leave notes on the chat, which is pretty funny. And then this is what it looked like when we had a season where we invited other streamers to stream with us for the first time. We called it Thing Plus One, and it was cool. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything about that.
Yeah, we just each invited someone and coordinated a thing. So generally the way that this project works is that we have seasons, and every season is us kind of like adding more complicated things to the project. And friends, yeah. So the most recent one we did, which we'll talk about shortly, and got the most people that we've ever had kind of on the platform. So this was like us taking a baby step towards that.
Cool. I don't know what the next slide is. Let's see.
I think we're just talking about our performances. I mean,
Oh, this was just
yeah.
your performance, yeah.
Yeah, so this was after starting on Amazon Live, I went to YouTube and then transitioned into the sort of final version of my personal stream, which was a messy room, sort of a virtual room that I was hanging out in, and people would come and help me clean. But the conundrum was that they could also gift me stickers. They could gift me like matchas and wellness journals and things. So the room actually never really got clean because things would start piling up and they couldn't delete them.
Yeah, so one thing that I wanted to share is about the convoluted building process. If you've ever been curious about what it's like to try to decentrally build an extremely complicated application together, this is what it sounds like. Oh, will the sound be on?
My sound isn't on.
Oh my goodness. So you won't hear this, but this is like 1,000 different Zoom calls that we had all at the same time, where we'd spend like all this time talking about like, what is decentralization? And then we'd be like, we don't know. And then we'd be like, we don't care. And then, but we did get a grant because we said we were a Web3 project, which allowed us to build this, which is kind of cool. Lying is cool. Oh, and then as part of that, we decided that we had become experts in live streaming. So we went to San Francisco, where we had gotten this grant from. It was cool, from Gray Area, which is like a cool place in San Francisco, and for this grant called Sea Change. And so since we had become live streaming / Web3 experts, we decided that we were accredited and able to give out certificates. PhDs in live streaming. So this is our graduation ceremony.
We streamed the graduation ceremony too.
Yeah. It's legit. Okay, speaking of how legit we are, the site is actually quite sophisticated, and Bhavik is going to talk about
I don't know if I
now.
would go that far. So I spend a lot of time, like, I feel like, if for folks don't know, I'm kind of hanging with like seminal video artists. Like, these folks really mess around with video, and I didn't really stream before, and I thought a lot about like what's my art, but then I was like, maybe the code is just the thing for this project. That's the art. So I've kind of started to just get comfortable with like, here's the code, folks. Let's take a look at it. So here's Firestore. Our big decentralized database is unfortunately just Google Firestore. So. The thing about decentralization is you got to decentralize the power, and maybe not the technology doesn't matter so much as long as you're hanging out and cooperating with each other. Today, we have 103,000 reads to our database, which sounds really fancy, but mostly just means I don't know what I'm doing. But mostly it's coming from the presence part of the database. That is really pretty. It just like pings timestamp updates every 5 seconds to keep track of how many people are watching, which you can see in the bottom right corner, and people kind of go in and out. And sometimes, one time I streamed just this for 24 hours because I thought it was really beautiful. But yeah, there's a single chat database that's like crazy number of entries long. There's this, at some point we started building a blockchain because of the grant that we wanted.
I'm trying to refresh and
Oh,
see
yeah.
if anything.
Maybe
It's
a
okay, it's
bit
fine.
crisper. This is, I think, like 350,000 transactions from the blockchain that we had started building that we abandoned like very quickly. But then, yeah, a lot of like the website's just powered by this one database called Rooms, and like in it is just a room for every single person who's ever streamed. And you can see that we have like a CDN for all the stickers they may want to put on their website, and what their color is and their room name. And all of that just pipes into, the front end or whatever. So the front end is effectively just like a big Next.js app, but really it could have just been like JavaScript. Yeah, oh, question? That's a really good question. It is. I'm using an API. But it's using WebRTC underneath. We were using Mux for a long time, and that is like RTMPS, like it was like real serious business. But then now we're using GetStream, so it's basically just a video call, and I'm hiding all the participants. And in that way, it's decentralized. So
We spent so much time trying to justify how we were Web3 and decentralized.
I think at some point we decided maybe we're just like Web 4. I don't.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
We skipped.
Um,
I'm just checking to see if Tom's come through the room
Tom's
yet.
come through.
Oh, also, if you send oh, I forgot to mention one cool thing about the site is that there's 2 kinds of chat. So you can chat inside the room, and then there's also like a universal chat. So if you want to watch everything at the same time. So right now, in the universal chat, also if you send a chat to that, it goes to like the screen in the museum. So that's like another place where you could possibly access Tom at this time. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'll wrap up here, but just because I like talking about the front end, I dump everything from Firebase into the front end. Just the front end knows everything about the database, and then each room just reads and renders it. And then like there's not really that much. It's just a very thin wrapper over reading and writing to Firebase. And then there's a teeny tiny little server that has just one job. When you go online, my GetStream pings that server and then writes it into Firebase, which tells the website. So I think like if we keep continuing with this project, I'll probably just ditch Next.js and make like a JavaScript API for anybody to just put a little live streaming thing on their website or something. But yeah, that's the code tour, and I could talk about it more, of course.
Should we keep going?
No. We should probably wrap it up.
Here, I'll take the camera.
Okay.
What's the next slide?
Oh, yeah.
We should wrap it up.
Okay.
But we should. What did Chrissy want to do?
No, we gotta tell. Well, I want to tell everyone about No Thing.
Okay,
quickly.
quickly.
Okay. Okay. So our biggest like accomplishment of all time was that on December we were supposed to have this show at MOMI, and then there was like a small fire at MOMI.
Yes.
And so it was postponed like indefinitely until now. But in the meantime, we were like, oh, what if we just did nothing instead? And so we were really proud. We brought 40 different people to stream with us on our platform, 24 Hours of Nothingness on December 29th, which was like a day that's like in the void of things happening. So some of those streamers, we have some slides about them. One is like, some of them were like historic Nothing streamers. So this is Mr. Grass, who, I don't know if you want to say anything about him.
It's just watching grass grow. He's been streaming his front lawn since like what? Yeah, we got him to say yes.
Yeah, we just made an iframe of his thing.
Yeah, but he said yes.
Low barrier to entry.
We spoke to him.
We curated him.
And then we have like.
Keep going.
What else do we have? Wait till the next
We have
one.
the coffee pot.
We have the Trojan coffee pot.
The first live stream.
First live stream.
They were very sweet.
Yeah, they were just like, of course we'll send you the JPEG. We don't understand why you care about this.
Yeah.
We were extremely excited. And then this is what it looked like. We installed it in a gallery window at Nwenwa Head, which was really fun because we also had like a stream facing the street, and people would walk by and be like, what is this? Which was fun. And then some other people, this is what it looked like from inside the gallery. What else was there? Oh, this one was cool. This one, I guess maybe some of you guys know this guy, Spencer Chang. He did one where we didn't understand what was going on at the time, but later found it to be very cool, where he was live streaming his desktop for the whole day, but it was like super, super, super low res. So it was just like some pixels. And then Carla Zarita streamed this, like she was just like making collages and like doing cool stuff all day. This was like, we had a doc where if you wanted to do nothing, but you didn't like get your act together, you could put the concepts of what you didn't do into this doc. And this is like a cool like webcam did like a performance where it was like a kind of like a sexy cam, but it was like really, really blurry, so you couldn't see anything. And I think,
Oh yeah. For mine, people could send things to my printer and then it would print at my house, and it got really complicated. And someone, but you'll be able to do that on June 7th at MOMI. We should plug that we're performing at MOMI. So I'll be doing the same performance where you can come and print things, and I'll start sticking them up on the wall. They have performances too that are not like mine.
We don't know what they are.
They're still figuring it out.
Should we go to Chrissy?
Yeah.
This is where, look, go to the museum. Like here.
Oh yeah, it's up till August. So if you want to like do shenanigans, like you can do it on the website, or you can show up and do shenanigans there.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry,
yeah.
I forgot that I was driving. Oh no, that's no one. I don't know who that is.
Someone's making an account right now.
Whoa.
Someone's figured out.
We have like a really obvious password. Shh. Sorry.
We'll change it.
Web 6. Where's Chrissy? Okay.
There he is. There he is.
Chris, it's your time, but I think I have to do some unmuting or something. Hold on.
He's not muted.
Can we hear you?
You muted yourself.
Unmute.
No, I'm good.
I can hear you.
Oh.
Just give me a thumbs up if you can.
We can. You're good.
Yay! This is amazing. I'm going to turn off so we don't get feedback. Yeah, so I'm going to I think what's great about our chat is we've been really interested in just different ways how you can incorporate chat into a performance. And so for this season at MOMI, I'm doing my Chrissy show, which is a talk show, and I invited one of our collaborators who's both performed and worked as a developer on the project. Mark Ramos created these amazing spam bots based on data sets that are using queer, Filipinx, San Francisco databases. And so you're seeing both the AI generated images, which will be face tracking tomorrow. He's still working out the bugs for that. But I wanted to read some of the chat because it's hilarious. I love the whole thing that I'm going to be doing this season is essentially chatting with stupid bots, and that includes my AI boyfriend. But for Leatherbot and Showgirlbot, this is an example that happened this past Sunday. So Mark said, "Hi, Showgirlbot. Hi, Leatherbot." Showgirlbot said, "Hormones, hope, and highlighter. That's my rebellion. I march, I vogue, I testify, and I meant it. Woke up crying, went to bed ironic, say it louder in heels. Trans is truth, even when the world lies, and I meant it." Leatherbot said, "Leatherman, your ass is why Folsom was invented. Don't come yet." Anon944 said, "Alice is looping. Hola." Anon486 said, "Hola." Leatherbot said, "Backroom rules said you're not a bottom, you're a utility hole. That's an order." Showgirlbot said, "Hormones, hope, and highlighter again. That's my rebellion with lashes and pride. A dream is a person, an illusion is a person, and a person is a collection of people. Joy is political, and I'm glowing with it. Joy is political, and I'm glowing with it. In full rhinestone truth. My lipstick is louder than your opinions. In full rhinestone truth." Leatherbot said, "He whispered, I smelled your fear and fucked it out of you. Lube optional." Mark said, "Hello, Leatherbot." Showgirlbot said, "You wish you glowed like my highlight at midnight. Tell your mom." Mark said, "Okay."
Yay!
That's it.
Okay. I guess we should have the
And we'll
breaking
do
news of what
Yeah,
just
okay,
happened.
breaking news.
Oh no, what happened?
Someone hacked in.
What?
Someone just made an account and hacked in. Are you here?
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Who is it? Show yourself.
Well, if you
Is
go
it this
into there,
person?
it's bang. It's just
Bang.
Who is that?
Okay, well, I think this is like a really good way for us to end our talk.
I see you.
Wow!
Welcome to the collective.
Wow. Okay. That's it. Bye. Wow. Exciting.
Very exciting.
Exciting stuff. I knew that this was going to be chaotic, but I didn't imagine the level of chaos that was even possible.
No, I can't believe we could just hear Chrissy.
I know, that was the part that I was worried wasn't going to work, and then that part worked the best of anything.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it up one more time for Is This Thing On? And that was Sarah Rothberg, Molly Soda, Chris Clary, and Bhavik Singh, and new member Bang. Congrats to Bang. Big opportunity here. All right, we are at our final presenter here at WordHack this evening. We are going to see a presentation from Damon Pham. Damon is a writer and a musician. Really excited to see what he has for us this evening. Give it up for Damon.
Yeah, then how do I select to show this?
It takes a little bit.
Okay.
It automatically is set, but if it doesn't, go to displays.
Nice, okay. Hey. Okay, so I'm gonna share something pretty old and then something pretty new. This is New Leaf. It's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a bootleg Animal Crossing. It's from, yeah, like New Leaf, so we're gonna play the music at 9 p.m. And we're gonna see what they have to say. This one makes me feel like I need to be sneaking in the dark and trying to get my net out and catch some rare beetles. The horizon was anything but a dark blue, a bit of a walkway. While in the wintertime, there's a small piece hidden in the street and playing around the corner. This reminds me of a cave adventure song, like you're digging through a hole about your body size to get to the right place, but then stargazing to the island, getting lost, and finding your DS. This is a good song, bad idea, lost in the shuffle. 2x speed is really, sorry, is it? Let's see what this one has to say. I always loved our time together back in 2014 and 2015 when I was young and we played different ways, but this song always reminded me of our ages and the holidays and summer weekends together. Last one. The sun is finally setting, the night is long. So one day I was like looking for music to like, you know, do homework to, and yeah, I pulled up like the Animal Crossing soundtrack, and I always read the comments of the videos that I'm looking at, and it's kind of interesting because in a lot of video game soundtracks, people will talk about their fond memories of playing, you know, that game, both like their memories inside the game and then where they were while they were playing that game. But the interesting thing about Animal Crossing is that the music changes every hour. So the comments were like tied to that specific hour and like what they were doing, you know, in their life at the time when they were playing Animal Crossing New Leaf, which I've never played. So I like, you know, like, it's been a while since I've like done internet stuff, but I forget the word, extracted the comments from YouTube, I scraped the YouTube, I scraped the YouTube comments. And then I used GPT-2, which was like the thing at the time from Jupyter, yeah, nostalgia, right? So I trained, yeah, it was like a pre-trained GPT-2 on a Jupyter notebook, and then I like fine-tuned it 24 times, one for each hour, to make a bunch of comments. And then I chose my favorite ones and then made like a website to kind of share it. So it automatically like updates. Oh, this is my favorite one. That's so lucky. Okay. A man walks by the pool in the summer. The sun sets over the horizon. The leaves are still soft and you're still curious. I know. That wasn't AI, so like but yeah, they're like, I didn't edit them, but like I definitely hand selected, you know, my favorite little lines. But yeah, I think nowadays I'm kind of like making like music, and but I think the kind of oddness of this language and also like the aloneness of like certain kinds of like digital media activities, you know, I'm kind of still thinking about those things. So like, yeah, like kind of thinking about, this is kind of interesting, like, you know, a lot of people walk around with like earbuds in, and this idea that there might be a desire to show people that like you're having this moment of interiority because, you know, you're a complex person. And thinking about also like it can be both like connecting you to the world, like enhancing your experience in the public, or it could be a way of like, you know, shutting yourself out. So yeah, let's listen to some beats I made. All right. Let me turn this one off. All right, I'm gonna play like 3 of them.
You tell me what my pride should rely on, saying if it's right, I'll add to her cut often. You hold my hand while you name the trees a wall, like a forest wallpaper. You carve out a frame and a pose. This is our best task, you say, like to look ahead, kind of past, and I guess if I try otherwise, like if I cared elsewhere, you wouldn't have your arm around me as much. And it makes sense. You run the scenes to the end, you ride out every stop, you unfolded the towel. Like many things aren't my job these days. I can mark us lower and lower each time, asking for more, for us, from anyone. Why would I play the first witness? Why would I place fault around us, you say? And I agree. I trim, I create need. I let more of your light onto me, and you're content. And when you want me to tell you how to kiss me, I'm not a difficult person, so, okay. First off, I'm home from overtime, and you've been setting rates, you've been repainting, and I've not had a single thing of what I should say I want. So I'm the timid customer. Please? Then you're the cold flight attendant. Maybe. So then I'm the class clown, and you're impatient at a restaurant, and I'm the overburdened nurse. And that makes you want to play Make It Better. And you know I have manners, so you pull the curtain, rug, switch, whatever to make me make the conditions for you to say, hey, this is the crisis. So then I say, okay, how can I make it better? and then you show me.
I drew you weak, but with special genetic inheritance. I drew your surroundings in barrel distortion. I drew labels over territory unlistened to. I drew a thin road toward where you last doubted yourself. I drew the atom, the lines on the clock, the course of meals. I drew you with otherwise no friend, otherwise no home. I drew you in with love and fairness. I drew you inside the garden, bent, inspecting, cautious. I drew a rainbow glistening beautifully. And at its end, I drew myself.
Thank you, Federica, for these nice words. Thank you for organizing this meeting. I have to say that you look much younger.
It's them.
Yes. Now, 3 years later, 3 years after not being anymore the high representative, blah, 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 you look much better. I'm sure it is the ambience and the fantastic job that you are having here. Yes, Europe is a garden. We have built a garden. Everything works. It's the best combination of political freedom, economic prosperity, and social cohesion that the humankind has been able to build. The three things together. And here Bruges is maybe the good representation of beautiful things, intellectual life, well-being. The rest of the world, and you know very well, Federica, is not exactly a garden. The rest of the world, most of the rest of the world is the jungle. And the jungle could invade the garden. And the gardeners should take care of it. Should take care of the garden, but they will not protect the garden by walls, by building walls. A nice small garden surrounded by high walls in order to prevent the jungle coming in is not going to be a solution, because the jungle has a strong growth capacity and the wall will never be high enough in order to protect the garden. The gardeners have to go to the jungle. The Europeans has to be much more engaged with the rest of the world. Otherwise, the rest of the world will invade us by different ways and means. Yes, this is my most important message. We have to be much more engaged with the rest of the world. We are privileged people. We built a combination of these three things: political freedom, economic prosperity, social cohesion, and we cannot pretend to survive as an exception. It has to be a way of supporting the others, facing the big challenges of our time. So thank you, Federica, for hosting this experience, this pilot program of an diplomatic academy. And I am happy, by the way, it's going to be in the net, it's going to be transmitted. So let's take care then. Let's take care, because there are things that can be said in a closed doors and inside working, and maybe cannot be projected to the jungle. To the jungle. Let's stay in the garden, but be aware that the jungle is listening to us.
So yeah, they're kind of like poems that like are trying to like interact and think about like the listening environment of like headphones listening, and like, you know, like when I listen to stuff, I tend to like kind of clock out, and in that way like all music becomes ambient music for me. So kind of writing stuff for that. One of these is AI. One of them is my friend, and another is like a sample, and I'll let you guess which one's which. Thank you.
Let's keep it going for Damon Pham. And give it up for our other featured presenters. Is This Thing On? And Morran. Thank you, thank you. And let's give it up for all our presenters on the open projector. All right, I have one last thing, or couple upcoming things to share with you. The first announcement I have, which is sad, is that there's no WordHack next month, unless you're in London. I'm going to London, and I'm going to try and put together an open projector in London. So, May 15th. Third Thursday of the month in London. Be there. But seriously, if I'm still looking for a venue. I've got some people I'm working with to put together a show, but I haven't finalized a venue. Maybe we'll try and live stream it, so there can still be a WordHack type thing that month. But I don't know. Don't get your hopes too up. But yeah, so no show next month. I'm going to be traveling. So our next show is going to be the third Thursday of June, which is going to be June 19th. And excited to have back my former co-host Claire Donato returning with a new piece. I think we'll also be having Olivia Michaela Ross and one other presenter, TBD. That'll be in June. Am I not coming through? All right, so I have this thing like where, I don't know if any of you all have noticed this, but skinny dongles work well on Macs, but fat dongles work well on PCs. That's a little bit of my WordHack wisdom for you. If you ever have a skinny dongle that's not working on a PC, or a fat dongle that's not working on a Mac, I always like to have a mix of body types up here for our presenters. And I feel like this big blocky guy is usually the one that it's got to be for my laptop. Hey, yeah, there it is. Big guys represent. Yeah, a couple things coming up. We have this great poetry reading on Saturday with SFPC, with Juby Bowen, Joselia Rebecca Hughes, and Allison Parrish. It's going to be this Saturday at Secret Reso Club, which is not too far from here in Bushwick. Also, Allison Parrish, a longtime regular and friend of the series, has a new book coming out called Two of Pentacles, which has a release party on Saturday, April 26th. That's at Woodbine in Ridgewood. Really cool kind of like hacker maker space. And I'm going to be performing at the reading, but it's going to be a really great show. So that's Saturday of next weekend, which is going to be really great. And so as I mentioned, I'm a co-director of School for Poetic Computation, and I teach sometimes as well. We have applications open for our summer classes, where I will be teaching my class HCT Poetics. We have applications open until April 27th. So if you're interested, most of these classes are online, although we have some in-person events as well, like weekend things. But yeah, if you're interested in just engaging in a little bit of study, you don't need to go to grad school to learn something cool and make something interesting. I know there's a lot of SFPC folks in the crowd, but if you haven't taken a class before, I encourage you to try it out and spend some time learning and making with us this summer. That is all I have this evening. Thank you all for being such a wonderful audience.
Bye.